Dear students, very good morning. Hope you are all safe and very hearty congratulations for your arriving of new semester. In this semester, you are going to have probability, random variables, and stochastic processes subject. This subject relates to your problematic and good scoring subject. So, please kindly go through with this subject. You have number of books, Peoples, and one of the textbook is Tables, and also you can check for random variables for so many books are there, and also for easy learning you are having Y. Mallikarjuna Reddy. Okay, this textbook is very useful for your learning, and so many problems are also there, so that you please follow this textbook. In this subject we are having probability theory as a first unit, and in that we have different topics like introduction, set theory terminology, sample spaces and events, probability introduced through axioms, joint and conditional probability, total probability theorem, Bayes theorem, independent events. Okay, these all are contents you have already learnt in your intermediate and class like that. Okay, just let us have a quick review about all these topics. Initially, let us have a small introduction about this random variables and stochastic processes. Okay, the normal study of theory of this probability began in 17th century, and with two great French mathematicians named Blaise Pascal and Pierre de Fermat. Probability theory is a well-established branch of mathematics that finds applications in day-to-day activities and every area of research in science and technology. Here the basics of probability theory is developed in the context of practical or conceptual experiments like tossing of coins, games of chance, throwing of dice, choosing objects, distribution of cards, shooting a target, etc. And the outcome of these experiments is not known for certain. So the probability theory is concerned with a sample space, that is set of all possible outcomes of a random experiment. For the given sample space, the outcome of an experiment depends on uncertainty. Therefore, all activities based on predictions such as planning for the future, weather forecasting, stock, investors, games of chance, signal transmission, estimating the risks of medical treatments, etc., has certain amount of uncertainties associated with it. The numerical quantity that we assign to a given situation of uncertainty is called probability, where the concept of probability is considered when a situation or an activity has a certainty of uncertainty. In the similar way, if we see an circuit diagram of an amplifier as a transistor as an amplifier, in that the main definition of an amplifier is nothing but to raise the signal strength of the input. If any kind of input is given, especially in sine wave, that sine wave is the strength of that input signal will increase or raise. That is a known. But here the uncertain thing is how much up to the voltage it can amplify, but we cannot know. Similarly, if we take a rectifier, the rectifier, we have different types of rectifiers, half wave rectifier, full wave rectifiers. But coming to this rectifier, if we use a half wave rectifier, for that half wave rectifier circuit, if we apply an input sine wave signal to that circuit, then while when the conduction of the diode will be the output, and when the diode is not conducting, we don't get the output. That means we know the output of the half wave rectifier as well as the full wave rectifier also. There is no uncertainty is there. But comparing with this amplifier and rectifier, okay, we can approximate what is certainty and what is uncertainty. Okay, now coming to the actual topics of our subject. Okay, as an introduction part, the first thing is the probability theory. In that probability theory, set theory is the main concept of this particular set theory is the main concept of this particular probability theory. For a minute. Okay, now what is a set? A set is a collection of well-defined elements denoted by a capital letter X. Okay, in that we have some elements like that x1, x2, x3 and so on, xn. Infinite number of values of x, we can, if those elements are included in a particular capital X called set. Similarly, there are so many different types of names for a set are there. That is, for example, empty set or null set. What is empty set or null set? A set is said to be empty if it has no elements. That is, there are no elements in that particular set name, which represents, that is simply called as pi. The pi represents the null set. Similarly, finite set. A finite set has either null or a finite number of elements. That means in that particular set, if we have a single number or an infinite values, then that set is said to be a finite set. If the set has an infinite number of values, it is called an infinite set. Similarly, from the set, let us know about the subset. What is subset? A set X is said to be a subset of Y if every element of set X is also an element in set Y. Once again, I repeat, a set X is a subset of Y if every element of set X is also an element in set Y. That is denoted by X belongs to Y. If this can be in an opposite way, that is, if set Y is a subset of X, if every element of set Y is also an element in the set X, denoted by Y belongs to X. In another thing, equal sets. If two sets X and Y are said to be equal, if both sets contain all common elements, that is, the equal sets are denoted by X equal to Y or X belongs to is Y or Y belongs to X, or X is subset of Y or Y is subset of X. Okay, next, disjoint sets. Two sets X and Y are said to be disjoint or mutually exclusive if they contain no common elements. Suppose if we have two sets like X and Y, if X contain odd numbers and Y contains even numbers, okay, these two sets cannot match. That's why okay, these two X and Y sets are called disjoint sets. Next, universal set. A set which consists of all elements of a given system is called a universal set, which is denoted by S. In this set of the system, all sets are subsets of the universal set. Okay, here suppose equal set, disjoint sets can include, and these two will be called as an universal set. Okay, those are the different types of sets that we have. Now let us know about the set operations. Now coming to the set operations, let me know starting from union. The union of two sets x and y is a set of all elements belonging to x and y or both. That means as shown in the paper, z is equal to x union y. That means the all elements of x and all elements of y belongs to the only set, that is z. We can include all the terms in both x and y. Similarly, coming to the intersection, the intersection of two sets x and y is a set of all elements common to both x and y, and denoted by z is equal to x intersection y. Okay, here the opposite thing of this union, where in the union all the elements of x and y are combined, or that means it is belong to same set. But here the contents of the elements of x and y all are not included, but only the common terms or common elements of x and y are included. That is called the another set z. That z is equal to x intersection y. Okay, another important term, okay, that we have to know about this is complement. The complement of a set x is the set of all elements not in x denoted by x bar. That means x intersection x bar. That means complement means the complement of a set x is the set of all elements not in x. That means what are the elements that are not included in x can be included in the x bar. That means x intersection x bar will be become a null set. Similarly, if we make union, the x union x bar will become the universal set. Because the difference between the null set and universal set, okay, in the null set we don't have any kind of elements, either x and x bar, or those elements cannot be combined, but we can combine the elements in x and x bar. If we write as an x union x bar, that is called as universal set. Then difference. What is difference? The difference of two sets x and y in the set of all elements of x that do not belong to y, denoted by z is equal to x minus y. That means the difference between the two sets of x and y, of x set and y set, we can make the difference of all elements. Okay, here the elements of x that do not belong to y, denoted by z is equal to x minus y. Similarly, if we can write in another way, the difference of two sets x and y in the set of all elements of y that not belong to x can be denoted by w is equal to y minus x. Okay, and another introductory topic is Venn diagram. Okay, after knowing about this set, okay, mathematically we can represent through graphically also. Okay, this is through these Venn diagrams. Sets can be represented geometrically by using Venn diagrams. That means a set is represented by a closed path enclosing all its elements. And what are the laws of sets? We have different laws of these sets: commutative law, complementary law, associative law, distributive law, and De Morgan law. Okay, what is law? Commutative law. Commutative law explains that are defined that A intersection B is equal to B intersection A. That means here we are doing the intersection. That means we are not taking out we are taking out only the common elements of both A and B. Similarly, A intersection B is equal to B intersection A, and A union B is also equal to B union A. This is called the commutative law. Similarly, complementary law that we have already seen, complementary law, that is A union A bar, that A bar means complementing the A, set A. If A union A bar is equal to the universal set. Similarly, if we making intersecting the A and complementary of A will become the null set called pi. Similarly, A bar is equal to A. And coming to the associative law, if we make A union B as one term and it is a union with another set C called C, that means A union B union C is associated like this, that is A union of B union C, A union of B union C. This simply it can be written like this: A union B is equal to A union B union C. Or otherwise, A intersection B intersection C is equal to A intersection B intersection C, that is equal to A intersection B intersection C, A intersection B intersection C, that is equal to A intersection B intersection C, because this is the associative law of a particular set. Okay, distributive law. A intersection B intersection B union C, A intersection B union C is equal to A intersection B union A intersection C. Okay, here the union, the intersection is distributed like this: A intersection B union A intersection C. Similarly, A union B intersection C, that is equal to A union B intersection A union C. Okay, this is the way of distributing this law. Now, De Morgan's law. De Morgan's law states A union B whole bar will become, or A union B complement will become A complement intersection B complement. That all the operators or all the sets will be complemented as A bar intersection B bar. Similarly, A intersection B complement will become A intersection union B intersection. A complement union B complement. A complement union B complement. Here, union become intersection, intersection become union. Okay, that is called the De Morgan laws. Similarly, duality principle. That is, what is the duality principle? We can replace all unions of intersections, all intersections by unions. Let us see. We can replace all unions by intersections, all intersections by unions. The universal set of a null set and a null set by the universal set S. Okay, the universal set by a null set and the null set by the universal set S. Then the identity is preserved that the replaced set is called duality. The identity is preserved that the replaced set is called the duality. Okay, this is what already you have seen earlier from your high school education and also in the intermediate. So these are all the basic topics, and some more related topics are there. Let us see the definition of this one. Sample spaces. What is a sample space? The set of all possible outcomes of an experiment is called sample space. The set of all sample space, or the set of all possible outcomes of an experiment is called sample space. Suppose if we tossed a coin, the set of possible outcomes are if we toss one time, we may get either head or tail. If we toss two times, then we may get four outcomes, either it is head head or tail tail or head tail or tail comma head. Okay, these are the one of these experiments with two coins, and those are the outcomes. Then we call them as in sample spaces. Okay, what is this discrete sample space? Discrete sample space. A sample space is said to be discrete and finite, that the set in the sample space have finite number of elements. Okay, like a sample space is said to be discrete and finite. That set in the sample space have finite number of elements. Okay, if we have a set with a finite number of elements, and that's said to be discrete and finite. For example, the set x equal to 1, 2, 3 up to infinite, then it is said to be a discrete sample space. 1 is a one element, then 2 is another element, 3 is another element up to infinity. Now, continuous sample space. If the sample space contains an infinite number of elements with continuous values within given range called continuous sample space. Once again, if the sample space contains an infinite number of elements with continuous variables within given range called continuous sample space. For this, suppose if we have a sine wave or a square wave or a triangular wave, as it looks like a single set but single element, even though we have an infinite number of values. Okay, that means continuous number of values are there. For 1 only we can give an infinite number of, between 1 to 2 we can give infinite number of values. Between 2 to 3 we can give the two, between infinite number of values we can. Therefore, that is another continuous sample space. Next, coming to the other part, event. What is an event? An event is defined as a set of possible outcomes of an experiment. Suppose if we toss a coin, okay, we may expect the uncertainty like as either head or tail. Either it may happen, either head may happen or tail may occur, but not the case of both. Okay, that is not the case. That means if when we toss a coin, the possible outcomes are either head or tail. That is called the event. An event is defined as a set of possible outcomes of an experiment. Next, discrete and continuous events. Okay, discrete and continuous, as we have already seen, that sample spaces are two different types. One is discrete sample space and another one is the continuous sample space. And coming to the events, we have different types of events. In the first one we have discrete and continuous events. A discrete sample space has discrete events. Once again I repeat, a discrete sample space has discrete events. Similarly, events taken from continuous sample spaces are continuous. Events taken from continuous sample space are continuous. Next, certain and impossible events. Certain and impossible events. Certain and impossible event. The name itself are denoting the definition of this thing. An event is certain, that means if it always appears as an outcome. That is, an event is certain. That means if it always appears as an outcome. Already I have told about this one. If taken half-wave rectifier circuit or full-wave rectifier circuit, apply a sine wave as an input to any kind of rectifier, then automatically the output is not at all an uncertain. Okay, the output is half cycle only. We will get the positive half cycle for that particular as an output. Okay, that is certain output. An event which never occurs in an impossible event. That means a null set is an event which with no elements. And if there is any system, for that system, if we applied an input, surely there will be an output. Without having any kind of output, that there will be no any kind of system. Similarly, impossible event nothing but a null set. That means no elements are there. An event which never occurs in an impossible event. That means a null set is an event with no elements. Another type of events are mutually exclusive events. Mutually exclusive events. If any two events in an experiment have no common outcomes. Okay, if any two events in an experiment have no common outcomes, that is drawing by a king card. Okay, if any two events in an experiment have no common outcomes, the example is drawing a king card in the this card system. Next, equally likely events. Equally likely events. In an experiment, if one of the events is a sample space, does not depend on any other event. In an experiment, if one of the events in a sample space does not depend on another event, this is called equally likely events. That means that does not depend on any another kind of event. Only in that particular event only we will have that means event will have a sample spaces. Next, exhaustive events. All possible events in a sample space are called exhaustive. All possible events in a sample space are called exhaustive events. What are the favorable events? In a given experiment, the number of outcomes which are favorable to get the required event. Okay, what are the favorable event? In a given experiment, the number of outcomes which are favorable to get the required event. Next, equality of the events. In a given sample space, two events are called equal if both events have the same elements. In a given sample space, two events are called equal if both events have the same elements. Then that's said to be an equality of events. Okay, this is the introduction part of our set sample spaces and different operators on set and events and different types of events. Okay, in the next class we will discuss about another topic called probability, axioms of the probability and definition of the probability. Okay, thank you.